Disappointing results for Punjab fans. That's not really a game that they would want to see their team lose. Well, we are going to talk all about it here at Timeout with Sports Adda. Well, Arun, have Punjab fans recovered from the loss?
Have they recovered or have I recovered? Because I don't know what happened there. It's been what? It's been about 10 hours, 12 hours since that last ball, and I'm trying to figure out, lend some logic to what's happened, Akhil. It's probably, it's taken me 20, 22 cups of coffee since that last ball, and I don't know what happened. I'm not sure any of the Punjab fans have kind of understood what happened, what unfolded there. But I'll tell you what, before we previewed that game yesterday morning, our producer called it the El Clasico of the IPL. Didn't he?
Yes, it is a rivalry building up. It's a keen rivalry building up. Last time it was a match where singles were refused and it became so close. Again, it went to the last over. Again, yesterday it went to the last over. The result was like it's 1-1 this year. So yes, it is building up as a El Clasico of a different kind. Absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean, bizarre match, Akhil. And I use the word bizarre because, how often have we seen that the least expensive over or the most
Last over.
economical over is the 20th over of the 40th over of the match. So let alone the 20th over. The 40th over of the match. One run, two wickets, well set batsman, not a mountain to chase. I don't know.
Well, I just one word I could think of. I've been thinking about it since last night was panic. This middle order not used to handling current situation, just panicked. There was nobody to just stay there, take a single, rotate strike, four balls. It reminded me of the 90s collapses that the Indian team used to have, or the kind of collapse that Bangladesh had against India in the T20 World Cup. So that those kind of panic attacks are hitting the Punjab team too often was what I thought.
Yeah, Anil Kumble actually mentioned that, post match that it's happening too frequently. And he kind of pointed out that it seems to happen when it's in Dubai, when games are in Dubai. That's one thing he also mentioned, difficult pill to swallow, hard pill to swallow, which is the fact. I mean, you do not lose matches from such positions, not when you're
Well,
competing in a league such as the Indian T20 league.
absolutely, in such an intense tournament where wins are so important. If you remember last season, they narrowly missed qualification because of that short run incident that happened in one of the games. So these are incidents. If I'm a Punjab team owner, if I'm from the management, I'm going to be asking some hard questions and say that what is it that you need? What is it that you need for the team to qualify for the playoffs? Why are we falling short on such important times? Why are we, when we have the spending capacity, why are we not able to pick the right players to close matches? I mean, these are questions that they will need to answer at some point, right? This is not just a league where you come and compete. You have to be accountable for your fans and try and give them some hope that they can at least win the title sometime.
Especially if your teams such as Punjab and Rajasthan, because you're still trying to build a fan base. So you need answers. You need to convince the fans that you're making the right investment, you're getting the right players on board. Start piling on the wills. It's about building a brand as well. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Quick look at the match, the scorecard, Akhil. Uh, two very different innings. Rajasthan were cruising, and then they kind of collapsed at the end. They lost what, 6 wickets was it in the last 4 5 overs.
Yeah.
They looked good for 200 plus. Eventually had to settle for 185. Punjab were cruising again. When Mayank and Rahul were blazing literally.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what happened. Like we said,
Really, really bizarre match, like you called it previously. I mean, it looked like a easy win going 3 to 4 overs before the match actually finished, but unfortunately, Punjab couldn't finish it off. I'm really happy for the two young pacers, Arun. Arshdeep Singh, we were talking about him in the first half of the Indian League, Indian T20 League. He's delivered 5 wickets, which is very rare again in T20 cricket. He delivered under pressure, so really happy for him. And obviously, the second pacer, Kartik Tyagi, has been the toast of social media since yesterday. So really happy. Two young Indian pacers doing well. While his team lost, we should not forget Arshdeep picking 5 wickets. Arshdeep.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's been impressive. Again, he's one of those bowlers who bowls well at the death. We've seen that in the past. And speaking briefly about Kartik Tyagi, I know somebody big has spoken about it. So me and you don't qualify. Are not qualified enough to speak about it. But fascinating spell that last over. And who's spoken about it? The best bowler in the world at the death. Jasprit Bumrah actually stood, taken note, and tweeted about it. It tells you so much about Bumrah, the person, you know. This is what he said.
Absolutely.
What an over Kartik Tyagi to maintain a cool head under that kind of pressure and to get the job done. Great stuff. Very impressive. I'm really happy for both of them. One, you know, it shows you how genuinely warm a person Bumrah is, and it for Kartik Tyagi, I mean, he must be feeling over the moon today to get such appreciation from the best in the business. Outstanding.
Absolutely. And he himself tweeted, replying to Jasprit's tweet, saying that it's really nice that it's coming from my hero or a mentor. So it's really, these are warm moments. Fans like us, they really look forward to such warmth. And just if you remember, Kartik Tyagi was a part of the Australian squad that were together in that bubble and that difficult time for 2.5 months in Australia. He was one of the net bowlers. So I'm sure he spent a lot of time with Bumrah, asking him questions and how does he go about bowling in white ball cricket. And if you remember in the last dressing room video, one of the videos, the Indian captain actually praised Kartik Tyagi and said that the attitude and the commitment that you've shown has been amazing. So there is something definitely nice about this young bowler, and I'm really happy he showed it under pressure. So really happy for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. I cannot add more, but there's a big game today. There's a big game coming today.
Well, I know you're happy just because one of your favorite batsmen is going to be playing cricket after a long time. So, do you still think Hyderabad have hopes? Do you think Kane Williamson can fire them up to start a revival?
You're always hopeful, Akhil. You know, if you look at the standings, you know where things stand right now. Hyderabad obviously bottom of the table, but you're always hopeful. You know, you want teams to do well. Like I mentioned in the preview, if Hyderabad can switch things around in the second phase, and if they can do a 6-1, so there'll be 7 wins at the end of the league. Now, will 7 wins be enough? We'll only know at that stage. Teams have qualified on 7 wins, but can Hyderabad do 6-1 in this phase or a 7-0? That's the question.
That is, from personally, I think that is going to be really tough, considering how Chennai, considering how Delhi, uh, how these teams are coping up. I think it's going to be really tough. Hyderabad still have a lot of questions to answer, and just coming into the first match of the second half, playing against a team as settled as Delhi, who already have everything lined up. This will actually be the true calling today, Arun. We'll have to see because they have 7 games left. They have to win 6 of those at least to have a chance. So
Hmm.
it will be a big test. If they can get past Delhi, at least they have some confidence going in.
Correct. Absolutely right. And they're without Johnny Bairstow, one
Big
of their
loss.
big guns. We don't know if David Warner and the Hyderabad management have patched up, if David Warner will be back in the 11. He should, in the absence of Johnny Bairstow, he should. Let's look at what's happened with the 11. If we can look at the Hyderabad 11, if we can talk about that briefly. Uh, who all did they have, you know, in the last match before the season was brought to an abrupt halt? Let's just
Completely
read through
muddled up.
those.
Completely muddled up their lineups, trying to see different combinations. Manish Pandey was kept out of the side. Then Manish Pandey came and opened in an innings. So they were really confused about their combinations. They were not able to figure a place for where the young Abdul Samad should bat. So I think they tried multiple combinations. I just hope they give say 2-3 matches a consistent run for players so that they at least know their combinations.
Yeah, I mean, we know who the overseas players will be. It's got to be David Warner, Williamson, Rashid Khan. We know three. Hyderabad have always had that question mark against the fourth overseas player. But I don't know. The players I'm looking forward to watching tonight, Akhil. One is Williamson, one is Warner, for obvious reasons. But also Rashid Khan.
Yes, I mean, I can't even imagine around what his personal mind space will be right now, which with whatever is happening in his home country. So I'm sure there is a lot playing on his mind. He's always been a champion bowler, and it's delightful that he'll be playing again. It's a big season for him with this Indian T20 League and the T20 World Cup. He can set the world on fire with his bowling. He's capable of that. We love watching him bowl.
I'm glad you brought up that issue of the turmoil in this country, Akhil. Two things I want to talk about. One is what's going through Rashid Khan's head at the moment. You're always concerned about some friend, some neighbor,
Yeah.
some family member, your own interest in the country. There's so much happening. For him to, put all that aside, right? Get on the park for those 4 hours, perform. Why is he performing? He brings joy to people, millions of people. There are fans
Absolutely.
still watching him, even if just for those 24 balls. He's a live wire in the field, but even if it's for those 24 deliveries, he brings so much joy to so many people. And such a champion performer, not just today, yesterday, day before. You look at his numbers, Akhil. Over the years, year after year after year, look at the number of wickets and look at the economy. Not once gone over 7.
Wow. How amazing. Like, these are champion performers, and when I look at these kind of numbers, Arun, and I was saying that there will be questions that the Punjab team will need to answer. But with the new auctions coming up, the big auctions coming up, this is a clear pick, right? I mean, you cannot think of anyone else as your first choice retention for a team like Hyderabad who will be still wanting to compete again. So extraordinary bowler,
Absolutely.
this guy.
Absolutely. And these are numbers not just achieved in the Hyderabad or in the UAE or in his own country. These are numbers achieved across the world. Tell me one T20 competition he's not played in, he's not done well in. He's an absolute champion and should be Hyderabad's first or second choice retention come the next auction.
Superb. These numbers are brilliant. What about the Delhi batsman? Again, a settled unit there. You had some stats where you showed the numbers that the Delhi batsmen are scoring, right? I mean, the openers have been just outstanding for them. And then the middle order is a packed one where a lot of young guns are ready. So, I mean, can you better this lineup?
The question Ricky Ponting faces now is how does Shreyas Iyer come back into this lineup? Look at the runs they've scored. Look at the strike rate. I mean, Steve Smith is scoring at just over a run a ball, but a man of Steve Smith's experience, caliber, ability, I don't know if Punter will drop him, but Dhawan and Shaw were the driving force behind Delhi's success.
Yeah.
Nearly 600, 700 runs between them. They will want to continue their good work. One or two more match winning knocks from them, and Delhi are through to the playoffs. But for me, the question is about Shreyas Iyer. How do
Yeah.
Delhi get him in?
Well, he's been a champion performer, Arun, over the years. His record in the Indian T20 League, while he's not really set the league on fire with a dominating performance season on season, but he's still a Indian player. I mean, he still gets the runs at a decent strike rate, a decent
Exactly.
average.
That's the point, Akhil. He won't set the stage on fire, but he's an accumulator. Look at the numbers. I want to draw your attention to two things on Shreyas Iyer's last few seasons. He had one dreadful season. I think it was 2017. In
Yeah,
6 innings or something, he scored 30 runs. But look at the years after that: 338, 411, 463, 5. So steady accumulator, and
yeah.
which is why he's valuable.
Yes, and which is why he'll fit very well at number three again for the Delhi team. I will definitely have him over Steve Smith, Arun. I think Steve Smith he will be blocking one overseas spot. If he plays, he'll be blocking one spot for the Delhi team.
Good
I think
call.
Hetmeyer is definitely a much better option to have in your team, and I would not definitely leave out the two South African bowlers. I think they are going to be the cornerstone of the team, especially in these conditions where they are getting like the opening bowlers are getting a lot of support in the first few overs. So those two bowlers are really the heart of the team, in my opinion. So those two and Hetmeyer have to be playing.
You spoke about new ball bowlers. Also, don't forget Avesh Khan had an impressive first half. Second highest wicket taker, I think, at that point in time. So Delhi looking good. Delhi looking good. Last player I want to talk about before we go, Rishabh Pant. I'm glad that he's been retained as captain.
Well, I had a little bit of difference in that. I thought I had thought that Shreyas Iyer has done enough where he comes back and he continues to get back the captaincy. But that is a topic that we can leave for another entire episode. But Rishabh's numbers in the Indian T20 league, his numbers in the overall T20, well, he's just going from strength to strength, right? You cannot keep this guy out of news or out of any conversation that the Indian cricket fan is having.
Yeah, he had a difficult tour of England, but come back to T20 format. I think he'll do well. I really think he'll do well. Look at I actually for a second when he was named captain, I was a little worried if he'll still get bogged down. Look at the strike rate last season, 114. I was wondering if he'll still get bogged down and play that way. But good to see him play with a little more freedom.
Yeah, and interesting you mentioned about last year's strike rate. The fact that the second half of the league is going to happen again in a place where last season happened. So it will be an interesting time for him to see if he can match up to that location again. See if he can get up that strike rate from 114 to his normal 130, 140. And the same goes for Prithvi Shaw, Arun. While he was dominating in the first half, he was batting in
Yeah.
conditions where he was slashing away, getting a lot of easy half volleys outside the off stump to slash away. But we've seen in Dubai, we've seen in Abu Dhabi, we've seen in those conditions that the openers have not had it easy, even last season and this season also. So I think Prithvi Shaw, if he can just curb his natural, like just stay at the crease for 4 5 overs, and the runs are going to come for him. So I'm very interested to see how he goes.
The age-old principle of give the bowler 2 3 overs, give the bowler the first star, and the rest of the day it applies in T20 cricket as well. Give the bowler the 2 3 overs at the top. That's when the ball swings. Once the swing disappears, the rest of the 16 17 overs are yours. So Prithvi will do well to to follow that. Survive that first burst of 2 3 overs, and he can milk.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you for a call today. I know which team you're going to be supporting. I'm with Delhi. I'm going to say that let Kane Williamson score a good 60 odd runs like he did in the last match between these two teams. Let it go to a super over like he did in the last match that these two teams
We'll take
played,
that.
and let the best team win. Right? I mean, I think Delhi is going to win, but I'm happy to let it go to a super over, and we'll enjoy that match.
You know, if Hyderabad win, the tournament stays alive. All eight teams will be in the race.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll watch and we'll come back and talk a lot about the game and about different happenings in the cricket here. Thank you so much for joining us at Time Out with Sports Adda. Feel free to leave your comments. Let us know what you want us to add, talk about it here, and we'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much.